It's a tug of war, battling to keep my sanity. Say no more, say no more. I love you, but I can't keep killing me. I look at myself, I wonder why you don't recognize who you traumatize me. Now what do I do? Pick up the pieces and go. I've adored the time I had living this fantasy. Now I'm looking for a way to better me, a remedy. I look at myself, so what do I you recognize who traumatized me? Now what do I do? Pick up the pieces and go.
Boys, welcome back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let me make sure the audio is working here okay. Of course, we have intro music going harder than last time, guys. Let's see. Double check audio. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Greetings from India. Damn. Way out there. Hope all is well, my friend. Hope all is well out there in India. We're going to get here into today's live stream in just a second. Unfortunately, I have to confess, the two white monsters of the day have already been drank. So we're doubled up on waters. So we're going to be correct. We're going to be locked in. Today, I want to talk about, let's switch on over to my screen here. You're not crazy. You're just early. Guys, crypto can be a very lonely journey, and the questions are already coming in. I'll get to those in just a second, man. What time is it out there in India? I am, let's see, are you able to transfer Bitcoin directly from your Gemini wallet to Rabby wallet? It said something like, not a Bitcoin wallet. Do you have to get rewards in USDC to send? I think Robinhood said same. So yeah, I mean, I'll address that real quick, then we'll get in the video. So Rabby's not going to support regular Bitcoin. So something super, super easy for me has always been, I use Coinbase versus, I don't usually use Gemini for, most of my transactions and sends, but I use Coinbase, and then I send the Bitcoin as Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin, and you can send that over other blockchains. So Rabby's not going to support Bitcoin on the native blockchain. You need to use a wrapped version. So Gemini, not sure which wrapped versions they support, but if you see any wrapped Bitcoin or Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin, or if it supports a different blockchain like Ethereum or a layer 2, you can go ahead and use that into your Rabby wallet. Just again, it's good that you made sure and you read those warnings that it's not compatible. And you didn't just send it to the eternal void of crypto, guys. But the truth about being in crypto, today's video, you're not crazy. You're early. You're early, guys. The lonely chapter, the lonely part before the breakthrough. And trying to find your tribe in the space, essentially. So some of this is just a bit of a passion video right here because, even me, I swing in and out of just, feeling lonely at times in the space because, it's a pretty niche space. When you're in the DeFi space, it's even nicher than crypto itself. And so sometimes it's hard to really know you're on the right path. The Gemini card, of course, let me just check on my end for you real quick. and I'll just see. Gemini card, Bitcoin rewards, of course, I'm sure is what you're talking about. When it comes to sending the Bitcoin, let's see. Transfer, withdraw. It goes straight to addresses. So let's look at, do they have a wrapped Bitcoin on here? And it might be easiest, what I would probably do then is send it to your Coinbase account, and then from there you can send it as Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin. But let me go ahead and just look here real quick. No Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin on this one. Do they have wrapped Bitcoin? Not seeing it. So I would send that Bitcoin to a different exchange like Coinbase, and then send that off via Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin, guys. Being deep in crypto, guys, it can feel lonely as hell. They think crypto's a scam. They only buy the tops. We all have those friends. They didn't ask you for advice till Bitcoin was 125K. DeFi, if they even know about it, no, it's too risky. No, it's a scam. They think you're wasting time. You're getting trolled at Thanksgiving. You're getting trolled at Christmas, perhaps, because you're their little crypto investor, right? Like, I've had these conversations. I had these conversations when Bitcoin was 30K. The tunes changed at 125, I'll tell you that. But most people around you, they probably don't get it. You're talking about crypto. You're talking about it's new to you, maybe. It's exciting. I remember trying to preach it to my friends and on this and that, family, this and that. And yeah, they just glaze over. The eyes are glossed. They don't understand. It's not the same belief. It's not the same conviction. They're not on the same mission as you are yourself. They just don't get it. They just don't get it. They're not part of the game. And that can be really lonely at times and a little demotivating. Maybe you get off the game, or maybe you start falling into risky stuff because you're really just trying to prove yourself, trying to make as much money as fast as possible to prove yourself to people that at the end of the day, I mean, family, of course, you love, but your friends, it doesn't matter what they think about you. Investing in blue chip coins in DeFi is safe, and in meme coin pairs is bullshit. I would agree. Smart man out there in India, yeah, not investing in bullshit coins. You're just going to lose your money, man. Don't chase the hype. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay, too. I have the mic kind of far away. I'm going to check audio real quick. Doesn't sound too bad. Cool. You're building wealth in silence while they're still asleep. You're early, it's quiet, you have no friends, it's uncomfortable, you can't talk to anybody about what you're doing. They misunderstand you. Like, I've been through all this, and I'm still currently in this space. You know, the 10K Fast Track's nice, because now I'm surrounded by nerds that love and do exactly what I love and do. Right? But even so, it's still, you get the people in your real life that maybe they ask once in a while, and it's super exciting to talk about it. I'm not trying to give them too much to where they gloss over. But, yeah, it sucks. It sucks, right? You can't talk to your best friends about it. You can't talk to your family about it. You can't twist their arm into crypto, much less DeFi. It's a very, very lonely journey at times, and you have to remember that you are still really early, and you're in a very niche sector of the market that it's really hard to get people into. Most people don't get it for a couple reasons. Well, most people don't even understand inflation. All right, so the lack of financial education in this country here in the U.S., and I'd say across the world, is crazy. People don't understand. Why are homes so expensive? Why are they going crazy? Well, it's not so much that the homes are expensive, it's that the dollar is getting inflated to infinity. It's getting inflated away. So your purchasing power is going to negative infinity over time. And so everyone that's watching this video, we all understand that we want to be in assets, right? We want to avoid inflation. And depending on the country you're in, inflation could perhaps be worse than the dollar. You know, perhaps it's worse. I'm not sure about over in India, for example, in chat, but how's the inflation doing over there? How's the inflation doing in Thailand, these different places? There's going to be inflation in all these currencies, and for some countries that aren't the US, it's much, much worse. And so there's an even bigger argument for crypto. But the prices continue to go up. Things get more expensive, and your purchasing power goes down. And, you know, it's funny because inflation, it's not some accidental thing that just keeps happening. I mean, do you guys really think that the people in control, the people controlling inflation, the Federal Reserve, you think they're not aware of what this does? I mean, they have target inflation to hit, and the target inflation is not zero. Inflation is good for the rich that have their money in assets. You need to have your money in assets, of course, as well. But this is something that, you know, it's a difficult conversation to even have with friends that you may have or family. Some of them just don't get it. A severe lack of financial education. the money printing is endless. Again, it's going to go to infinity. At some point, many of us may believe there'll be a collapse of the fiat system. We'll need a new currency, a new world currency perhaps. Something to consider there. Bitcoin and DeFi, that's your escape, your lifeboat. How do you get away from the traditional system? I mean, it's got to be invested somewhere. If not Bitcoin, you at least got to go into stocks. You at least got to go into gold. You've at least got to get into real estate. And what's nice about Bitcoin and DeFi, well, for a couple reasons, is Bitcoin's a limited supply, of course. We all know this. It's a big reason why most of us like this asset, Bitcoin. And it's very volatile. So that does keep a lot of people out because it swings like crazy. But as I always say, that volatility with it brings volatility to the upside. And that's where you're making the crazy gains. It does have the extreme downside volatility as well. It's where you have to be emotionally strong, have a conviction, a long-term vision, right? You have to believe in the assets. So you're not getting overly emotional when it swings down. But again, that volatility is what brings the crazy pumps to the upside, right? Bitcoin, crypto, it's a volatile game. DeFi is a different angle. DeFi, you can build cash flow upon your crypto. You're getting paid dividends each and every day, every week, every month, all year. You're able to create an income, run a business off of the crypto you own. Getting your assets to work for you. Making more money off the assets you've already invested in each and every day to buy more assets, to cash flow your lifestyle, to actually buy you the freedom. And again, this is a very difficult conversation to have with anyone that is not already a crypto nerd or a money nerd. But it's lonely. Many of the guys that I know personally that are in crypto, it's $500, maybe $1,000. It's random coins. There was a guy at the lake when I was out there with Jake, and my dad. This is a well-off guy, by the way. This is a very, very well-off guy. My dad built a house for him, crazy house. Like a tunnel between, literally an underground tunnel between the garage and the giant mansion on the lake, essentially. Coolest thing I've ever fucking seen. The tunnel was crazy. Felt like a James Bond movie or something. And, Dad tells him me and Jake are in crypto, of course, so he's asking us questions. And, in chat, can you guys guess what the asset is that he holds? He only holds one. He only holds one. And this is a guy, keep in mind, a lot of money, crazy mansion on this huge, beautiful lake, millions of dollars, crazy cars, underground, Skyfall, James Bond tunnel between the two. Can you guess the asset, the coin, that's where you're hit, asset, the coins, the tokens, can you guess what he has? Interested to know. Sheeb. He has tons of Sheeb, and that's all he has. Little Shiba Inu. And he's talking about how he bought in at 0.00000 whatever, and he has thousands or whatever of coins, and one day could hit $1. Just complete lack of understanding. And this is someone that, again, is well off, coming from the real estate realm or successful business realm. Yeah, no, not Bitcoin. This guy doesn't have any real crypto education, I would say. He's someone that's successful, but for him, crypto is still just a gamble. Hoping for a pump. There's this weird misconception with people that come from the TradFi space that the more zeros on a coin, the better it's going to perform. But most of us watching here, we would understand market cap, we understand Shiba as a meme, etc. And so, yeah, most of us would understand that he's fucking retarded for having that. So he's asking us, me and Jake, how we think the coin's going to do. And it's like, this is not what I do. I don't speculate on Shiba's price action. I'm focused on building income off of people's assets. And then so I kind of showed him what I did a little bit and was like, hey, off your Shiba, there's potential you could earn some income off of this. It's not very exciting. It's looking like maybe 20% a year max, but that is income coming off the Shiba you already own. And you can just see him gloss over a little bit, and because that's not what he's interested in. He just has a little gamble play. Shiba Inu coins will never rise in future shitcoin. Yeah, I don't think it's, it's got a big brand name, right? Shiba, it's got a big following. It'll probably do well long term. Well, for a meme coin, I don't think it'll go to zero, but it's something where just complete lack of knowledge, no clue what he's doing in the crypto space, just gambling on some Shiba on the off chance it might go to $1 one day. It's amazing, even someone at that level, right, where you think they're very successful. And so, yeah, just be careful who you listen to, and be careful who you're taking advice from, right? Builders focus on people that are doing like what I do. But back to the other side real quick. There's guys I know that they have $1,000 in XRP and they claim they're going to be a millionaire one day. And they have $1,000 in there. Again, we understand market cap. We know $1,000 in XRP. It's probably not going to make you a millionaire anytime soon, right? Or they have $500 spread throughout just shit coins like that as well. And it's just a complete trash portfolio. They're not someone I would consider in crypto. They're not a crypto native. They don't know the blockchain. They don't even use it. They have some crazy meme coins on Coinbase or their exchange, and that's just about it. So, considering that is most of the people you'll probably meet in your day-to-day life that are in crypto, it can feel really lonely when you are someone that is a builder. You're trying to build a business on chain. You're trying to run systems. You're trying to win for sure. If you learn DeFi, the mechanics behind it, the strategies, you're going to feel even more alone. Because who the fuck can you talk to doing this? Some of the guys that have joined our 10K Fast Track, it's just because they need someone to talk to in the same space so they don't feel fucking crazy, right? You're earning yield, you're earning cash flow, you're building systems, you're not leaving things to chance, you're not getting overly emotional, you're not buying tops, selling bottoms, you're not being overly emotional. Everything's going to plan. It's a different game. It's a different game completely, and it can feel very, very lonely. It's supposed to be boring. Running a business is boring. But it's much better when you can run it with somebody else. You can have the best playbook in the world, but if the 5 people around you are broke, fearful, lazy, guess what you become? The average of the 5 people you hang out with, right? I think most of us would agree this is true. I'm sure many of you guys have felt this in your own life. For example, in Thailand, being around Jake, a lot of the guys out there at the mastermind that are on their game, that are on their shit, that feels great. You feel super locked in on your purpose. You're doing everything towards your goal. It's hard to fail. When everyone's hitting the gym every day, how can you not hit the gym? When everyone's doing work every day, how can you not do the work? When everyone's doing the right things and investing and running the right strategies, how are you going to be the idiot that's out there gambling or running some crazy tight ranges or doing some crazy shit? When you're surrounded by people doing the right thing, you're going to get pressured and you're going to get pulled up to their level. And it's hard. It's hard, but you're going to do it. When you're surrounded by people doing it right, you're going to move up to their level because you want to succeed and you want to be like them. You don't want to be the worst one, right? You got to get to their level. But it's even more dangerous and easier to fall down to the level of people that are not in their game. I've done this recently. I'll admit that. I have some buddies that I cut off about a year and a half, 2 years ago because it just wasn't fulfilling me or anything anymore. And I've been feeling a lot of this myself, where it's like, man, I just don't really have anybody out here. I'm missing Thailand. I'm missing the, excuse me, the camaraderie out there. And it's like I'm really missing having that interaction, right? So I kind of reconnected with some of those guys. And we were playing some games online and whatnot, which I don't think you should be playing video games if you're not making at least 10K a month, on your purpose, investing it, and your systems are working for you. But I have a little free time, obviously, because things are working out well. So I'm playing some games with some friends. And I can feel that energy where it's like I was also trying to suggest things outside of the game. Like, hey, guys, let's go fucking go-kart. As I was doing the go-karts with Jake and all those guys. Did that in Vegas again as well at the Bitcoin conference. That's awesome. Cannot get these guys to do it for a couple reasons. One, big one, lazy. They got to leave the fucking house. That's fucking hard to do for some people to get out there and actually live life. Number 2, they probably can't afford it. At least a couple of them. Because I know their situation. And so, it's super easy because then what? I'm not going to go-kart by my fucking self. I'm not that big a fucking nerd, right? But it's something to where this is very, very infectious. To where you can become lazy. And then I'm not doing anything. And then I'm not going. They can start to feed on that. They just want to play video games. If I'm going to join them and get infected by that behavior, then I'm going to go broke because I'm not going live. I'm not making videos. I'm not coaching clients. It's very, very infectious behavior. You guys just need to be careful of who you surround yourself with. Surround yourself with the people that want to win, that are doing the right things, that are hitting the gym every day, that are being healthy, that are making money, that are growing businesses, that are investing. People that truly do want to win. It's very, very important because it can pull you back so fast. Finding your tribe changes everything. When I first got into crypto, no one around me cared. I felt completely isolated. But the moment I joined my first online community, my results changed quite a bit. My first online community was actually Jake's back in the day, where I was joining him and we were just talking about crypto. Talking about coins, price speculation. I was on my crypto journey. I was trying to learn about these coins. This was very, very much so the beginning of my journey around this time. Alone and isolated. I wouldn't say I was really ever stuck in bad trades, but I was a little confused about the space, second guessing my assets and whatnot, and it was nice to be surrounded by people in the game. Right? Learning what coins they're holding, why, what people are expecting, simple stuff like security of my wallets. Like I learned a lot of the initial simple things. And I will say I outgrew that pretty damn fast. And then I started to be the guy that was talking about DeFi in this group, and no one even understood what the fuck I was talking about. And no one really batted an eye or cared until I was slinging 10K months. And once we started slinging 10K months, then people started listening. Jake started paying me to make videos. And then at some point, we rebranded. We started the 10K Fast Track, the coaching program that we have, the community that we have inside there. And then now that is our business there as well. Co-founding that. Pretty cool story. But again, that only happens after finding your tribe, right? And then it's okay to outgrow a tribe, and join another one. Or be a leader of one. If maybe you're the only guy in your area that's doing what you're doing, you still want to look for people. Maybe it's not someone, if it's not someone doing what you want to do, it needs to be somebody that has the same mindset, that is wanting to do what you do, that is on the path. Take on those below you, but on the same mission with the same potential that are about the game. It's okay for that as well. To be a roommate with you and 2-3 other guys all on the grind, trying to run a business, investing, working your asses off, working 2 jobs a day, and all you guys come home to do is slam a protein shake, shower, and go to the next job, and then come back home and go to sleep. Being on your mission with these guys that are going to win for sure. You have to find your tribe of killers. It's going to make it so much easier. If you guys are all waking up and hitting the gym before work, are you going to be the one roommate of the 3 or 4 guys that's not going to the gym? No, you're going to get bullied to death. But it's important you have the right mindset. I will tell you, going back, one of the guys in this group I was talking about, I was his roommate for like 2 years before I moved downtown. And man, when I tell you, I was this friend as fuck and I was trying to lead, but the problem was he didn't have the right mindset. Every day I'd come down, I'd be sipping my pre-workout, going above and beyond. Like fucking dancing, doing anything, making him a pre-workout drink. Like, bro, let's go to the gym. I could not fucking get this dude to go to the gym. I've gotten that same guy in the last couple of years. I've landed him like 2 or 3 different jobs before. I'm someone that's really always tried to give. I've gotten him good jobs. There was, like I told you guys, I bartend like the biggest nightclub in my city downtown. It's very, very great money. Not a lot of hours after work. It just makes a lot of sense, right? I've got him jobs at security down there. Got him the same job twice. Didn't show up either time, and then sold his car instead because he's like, rather than work to pay his car and invest the difference, he could just sell his car and not drive down to work. All right, I'm not hating on the guy. I'm just telling you it's a much different mindset. It's a much different mindset. And again, that's me going above and beyond, trying to help someone provide and do good for themselves. But if they don't want it, they're not going to get it. And that's something that can drag you down. You guys need to be careful who you're surrounding yourself with. It should be people doing what you want to do, that are at where you want to be in life, or people that are maybe where you are now, with the same mindset, working towards the same goals as you, or maybe even someone a bit younger, a bit less experienced, but again, that same mindset. And you guys can still work with each other to help you hit those goals, right? Just be very selective. Again, I've cut this group off for years at a time. I made the mistake of slipping back in, and you can see its effects pretty quickly. It's not what you want to be around. You want people that push you to be better every single day. Vegas, Bitcoin conference, riding ATVs, hitting the sand dunes, did some escape rooms. We did some VR together, right? Which was awesome. It was like zombies. There was like, 6 of us in the same room with like the VR. We could feel each other, like revive each other by grabbing their shoulders. We're shooting. It's a cool experience, right? Talking crypto, business, life all night. And it's like these aren't just random guys. They're brothers. They're guys that think just like you. The jokes, some of these guys are so freaking funny. Z was so freaking funny out there at the conference, right? But these guys, we all understand each other because we're on the same mission. We believe in the same things. So it's like all of our fast track guys, we're so similar in most all of our beliefs. And so it's just such a tight circle where you don't feel like the crazy crypto guy. Kyle was there. One of Kyle's favorite things about joining the group is just that he doesn't feel fucking crazy. He can talk about things, right? Because he has like his brother and some friends at home that ask him questions about crypto and DeFi now and then, but they're not really in the game. Not in the game like when we're out here at Thailand and we can just riff and talk about this shit. What are our goals? Or do they need help with something? What's this problem? Kyle was like, where'd this money go? We found that in like 30 seconds, right? Boom, boom, boom. Being surrounded by people that are at your level, that want the same things, believe the same things, it makes life feel so much better. There's me with a little double by pose on the ATV. Yep, I'm small. When you work with me, when you're coaching with me, I'm building you a strategy mapped out to your specific goals. Everyone wants something different. Some people are wanting and needing cash flow. Some people are trying to grow their treasury bag as fast as possible. Daily passive income. Some people just want to be safe. Only Bitcoin. Play it safe, play it slow, win for sure. Whatever that is to you, it's something I work with. And you work one-on-one with me to make this happen. And we have group coaching calls 3 times a week inside the 10K Fast Track. And again, you're with 170 people that believe and think all the same things that you do. You put yourself in that environment where you're making friends from across the world that believe in the same things that you believe and want the same things you have and are maybe ahead of you, maybe side by side from you. Maybe you come in and you're killing out the gate and there's people that are going to look up to you and you'll be working with them to be as successful long-term as possible. The game changes when you're not doing it alone. It's so much better. It feels so much better to have people you know that are winning alongside you and working towards the same goal. You don't feel like a crazy nutcase anymore. You know, when you're starting out, hit your first $20 a day. Start making money off your portfolio. Guys, you already own the assets, put them to work. Hit $20 a day. Scale that to $1,000 a week, and now you're replacing what an active income looks like. It doesn't mean you should just quit working per se, but maybe it means that now you can focus on working a job that you enjoy. Maybe a little more passion-centric. Maybe at this point, you say, fuck it, you do want to move to Thailand, right? I'd probably wait till you hit closer to the 10K a month mark, but it's something where you can start to make those decisions and plan for the future, guys. Again, everyone's goals are going to be different. What is your goal? You hit 1K a week, you're making 4 or 5K a month. That's you making passively off the assets you already own, making an active income. Similar to what people slave away their whole job and trade their whole life for. You scale that to 10K a month, now you're really getting the freedom that you're looking for. You can play it alone and confused, inconsistent, make all the mistakes that I've made in the past. I made many mistakes, guys. Get hope for pumps. You can be like the guy that's just buying Shiba. Listen, that dude is fucking rich as fuck. And he's gambling a lot of money on Sheeb. For what reason? He has no clue. So even at the top, you can still be an idiot and lose all your money. What was it? Didn't Mike Tyson make tons of freaking money and lose like most of it? Had to make it back? Pretty sure that's a thing that happened. Doesn't matter what level you get to. You can still fumble the whole bag. Don't fumble the whole bag. Play it smart. Build systems. Win for sure. Work with people that are going to make it happen. And don't burn out. Learn to love the game. But when you're by yourself, you can start to feel a little confused, lonely. Am I doing the right thing? And that either leads to a reckless behavior or just maybe switching back to the normie route. Saying, fuck this shit. No one else is doing this shit. And then go blow your money on a BMW. Go blow your money on some stupid shit. Go buy tables at the club. Blowing your money on bottles. That's not good. Find your pack. Find your tribe. Work with people that know what the fuck they're doing. That can shortcut you past all the pitfalls and mistakes. Make friends doing what you're doing. It'll add more meaning to your life. You'll have more emotional connection with people that you actually are going to win the game with. These are lifelong friendships. High income skills. Again, there's people in our group, for example, they come from real estate backgrounds and they're professionals in the space. So when someone's taking profit on their crypto and they're wanting to rotate it to real estate, there's guys in there that is their profession. They have learned crypto to build income on the side. and use that for real estate, and they can teach the other guys. And they're like, hey, I'm from this area of the country. You're not that far away. What do you think about this? So it goes deeper because you're building those connections. Networking's making the world go round. Right? And building cash flow with these guys. Getting yourself to the life of freedom, to the control in your life that you desire. Design the actual life that you want to live. Stop doing this alone. Look, this is one of our Fast Track members here as well. But me and Jake, out there in Thailand. One of the first nights out there, I think. It was like day 2 or 3 when we were out there in Bangkok. Before the mastermind or anything. One of these guys, again, Fast Track members. This wasn't even part of the mastermind. This was just a one-off. He happened to be coming through Thailand for a second on his way to China. Boom, boom, boom. Nice little hangout. It was awesome. Awesome connecting. Awesome, man. I just miss Bangkok. I miss Thailand. It's so beautiful everywhere. It's just awesome. Such a vibe. If you're tired of being alone, scan the QR code. Click the link pinned on the live stream. Down in the description. Whatever. Work one-on-one with me. We'll build you a personalized roadmap to win in DeFi, to cash flow off of the crypto you already own. Work with me. Work with Jake. The 170 plus other people inside the community making money every single day. And you guys can do it too. And I want you guys to win. I'm going to start opening up to Q&A here in a second. Let's see. Let's do a little Q&A, boys. And let's, let me switch this back over to solo cam for a second. And then actually, if you guys are actually down this time, can open it up for a couple people to join and ask some questions if they have some. Give me 1 second to pull up the stream here real quick. Let's see. Going to paste this link in chat. 1 second. If you guys have some questions that you want help with, I'm going to spit some game, boys. Don't do some retarded shit. Swear to God. Let's see. If you guys have any questions, you may not. You guys are always maybe just too locked in. Too locked in. Let's see. Nothing? Nothing at all? There's no way. Someone's got to have something. There's almost 20 of you live. There's no way. There's no questions. Do you have to bridge Arrow or something to make decent yield right now? Josh, if you could clarify that just a little bit. Bridging the Arrow? What do you mean exactly? I'm trying to see the angle you're working there. Just so I can understand a little bit better. Not really sure how to bridge it. Remember you mentioned you have to bridge for the pool to work. Don't know what you mean exactly. Let me scroll up and see if I missed something from earlier. The Bitcoin. You said Arrow. So, do you mean Bitcoin, not Arrow? If you have the Bitcoin on your Coinbase account, on Bitcoin Network, when you click transfer, it'll give you options to choose a layer 2. And yes, if you're trying to do an Aerodrome pool, like what Hero King is saying, you could choose the Base network to send the Bitcoin on it. It will send as CBBTC, which is Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin. So if you're using Coinbase, it's a really simple, it's basically going to bridge it without you having to bridge it. Just make sure if you're going for Base Chain, for example, that you do have a little bit of ETH on that wallet on Base Chain to have gas. You want to make sure that you have that. So if you don't have that, can't move the Bitcoin. Always got to have gas. Let's see. Let's do some fun shit. Let's do some fun shit. Best coins for 2026. Let's see. I want to see where we're at. While you get back to me there on that. Of course, going to put the ones that I like on here, of course. Oh, I can only do 4. Okay. Let's see it. Let's see where we're at. Playing around with some of this stuff I never do. Let's see. Let's see where we're at. I think we're at Bitcoin's at 100%. Bro, is Sui a good coin to put it as collateral and borrow against it to generate cash flow? I mean, yeah, for sure. I can definitely show a little bit of that here as well. 1 second. Let me get that pulled up. You just got to be a little more careful, right? Let's see. Let me tab this over. Should be showing you now. My favorite lending platform for Sui is going to be on Navi, right? It's one of my favorites. A couple of other alternatives as well. It's personally the one that I use most often. It's very clean. Used it for like 2 years now, essentially. But yeah, you can lend Sui, right? So if we open up Sui here, you'd be lending it out. Not earning any kind of crazy supply, earning about a 3%. Nothing crazy right now. But you can then be borrowing USDC against it for about 4.4% incentivized, which means that you're paying 6.6, but you're going to earn some VSUI as a reward for actually borrowing the USDC. So it's going to offset you a little bit. If you're not wanting to use that 2.2% to stack more SUI, you'd want to be frequently, like once a month, be selling that VSUI you're earning just for more USDC. Use it to pay off the loan, or you can stack more SUI as well. Either or. And then you could take that, and for example, come to something like Turbos as you borrow that USDC. And APRs are looking a lot juicier than normal right now. Keep in mind, SUI jumped by like 20-something%. So a lot of people that were getting cute down here, doing stupid shit that I tell you guys not to do all the time, let's just say they were even being somewhat of good boys, back here doing like 95 cents, and they were like, okay, $1.19, I mean, they got kicked out. They're making no money now. They're going way too tight. Let's be a little generous and not consider them retarded, but still, 200%. But very, very tight range. I'm looking for something closer to, it's going to be a lot more boring, but let's say minimum $3. Right? Oh no, I'm only making 72%. Oh no, that's terrible. No, I want to go wide. But it's something to where, yeah, you can monetize pretty easily. Stretching it from $3 to $4, you're getting a lot of appreciation. You're only dropping by another 10% to 60. And if you want to go all-time high-ish, it just fucked me up. What was that, 0.9? Just keep it simple. 53%. That's fantastic. I would expect this to drop closer to 20% if SUI doesn't keep ripping, if volumes don't stay. But right now, pretty damn good APR. Not too bad, boys. Not too bad at all. I see Jake uses Monad, not sure how to word it. Sounded like the native tokens pay way better yields, but not sure how to go about that. talking about Monad as a blockchain, yeah, you would want to have Monad coin for gas, but when you're using VFAT, it's going to work a lot better to enter your pools with the native asset, which just means that when you're opening a position, let's say it's on Monad chain, but say it's ETH-USDC, for example, right? ETH-USDC on Monad chain. When you open the pool with Monad. Use the native token. Use the gas token, essentially, of the network. It's just going to make things work super smooth. You'll have no contract error, and it's going to swap that Monad you deposit into both ETH and USDC. So you're only using that Monad, or whatever the native token is on the respective blockchain, as that medium of exchange to get inside, just to enter. Hey, I know you say don't set tight ranges because you'll have to rebalance and you'll get a permanent loss, but if you put your ETH on Aave and borrow against it, you don't get a permanent loss. I mean, yes, that's true, but you still want to be a good steward of the capital that you are borrowing, right? So if you're borrowing, you can go tighter, but I still want to play the game to win as much as possible. And in a lot of cases, like I would say if you're going tight, you are going to make a higher APR, yes, for a couple days, couple weeks, but then you're out of range, and then if you actually just hang up the phone there, and then you pay back your loan right then and there, then cool, no harm, no foul. But the problem is most of us are going to set a new range, and again, you're getting pretty much no upside appreciation off of the pool, but if the market does move down, you're going to get over a 1x loss. Because remember, you will have your collateral on the side, yes, that's offsetting the upside in permanent loss, but if the market moves down, your collateral is moving down at 1x, your tighter range is going to get pushed to all the asset pretty quick, and you're getting 100% loss over there as well. So you're getting a lot of reduced upside, and you're getting the full downside, but again, at like a 1 point, let's say you're borrowing 30%, like a 1.3x downside with no upside benefit, right? So you really want to play it long term enough that it's going to be beneficial for you. Now that being said, if you're playing a tight range, and I would say you get somewhat lucky and you stay in this tight range for like 3 months, then that's something. And if when that position ends and you exit that position and you're just done, then cool. That position served its purpose. But I know for myself and for a lot of people, it's like, well, I get cashed out. Now what? I'm not actually done. I just thought this was going to last longer. So you really want to be aware of yourself as well. If you have a position, let's say it's on ETH, and it's from like 1,800 to 2,500, well, at $2,500 ETH, are you actually done? I don't know. I'm not done at 2,500. I'm going to want back in the game, and that's going to lead to making mistakes. But if you can have the self-control to actually, like, this position is just still 2,500, then I move it out, like, and that's your whole game plan, then of course, do it. Of course. I'm not here to make you not make that decision. But I would imagine most of us are not going to be done. How tight is tight? At 35% wide, only seeing 15%. Where's the good pools? That would depend on the asset, Josh. Right now, if you're looking at something like ETH-USDC, I mean, the yields are down right now. The yields are definitely down right now. 35% wide shouldn't be only 15%. The Monad one, I think, I have like 100% wide, and it's doing like between 15 to 25, 30%, depending on the day and what it's looking like. So optimize for the best pool on the same range with the same assets. If you're looking at ETH-USDC, move it around, different pools, different farms, check the same range that you want to set on each one, see what's going to be paying you the best APR with a good TVL, of course. Don't be going into a $500 TVL pool. But look and see what's going to be paying you the best, of course. Let me check and see real quick if anyone clicked this link. No one did. No one did. You guys are lame. You guys are lame. What's going on, Justin? What's going on? Let's see. I'll take it back on over. Back on over to the screen share. What's going on, peeps? Justin, good to see you. Makes sense, Ryan, of course, of course. I got you, brother. Good to see you here again. It's been a while, I feel like. Is Sue a good coin to put as collateral? Yes, just don't. That's the other thing I was going to talk about. Keep in mind, liquidation's at 80%, which is a pretty competitive liquidation point at 80%, But keep in mind, SUI is going to swing and be a lot more volatile than Bitcoin, right? So if you're borrowing 40% on Bitcoin, like even right now, say it's at 80K flat, 40% on that, well, you got to be adding money before 40K Bitcoin, or at 40K you're going to get liquidated because it's cut in half. So your 40% LTV is now going to be at 80%, right? It's probably not as big of a stretch or unfathomable, I just said that word as weird as possible, for SUI, say you borrow 40% right now, for $1.25 to go down to like 62, 65 cents, right? I don't think it's super likely, but I think most of us would agree that that is more likely and going to happen faster than Bitcoin going to 40K. And if Bitcoin does go to 40K, I imagine SUI would do the same, down to 65 cents. That's huge. How do I find it? I'm doing USDC and ETH and put in Monad on VFAT, but not seeing anything that's good. It's possible the APRs just look shit right now, and they will kind of average out over the course of the next week or so. I believe it's on Farms and ETH USDC on Monad. Check the ranges. And again, it's not very exciting right now. I hope things get back to normal here soon, but that's just, unfortunately, kind of the way the ETH USDC positions are looking. They're all down. Most everything is about 20-30% at best right now on a nice wide range like I would set. And if you're going tight, just keep in mind, it comes with ramifications later. Claude AI suggested setting 3 different ranges. One with a tight range, one with a medium range, and then one with an extremely wide range. So I'm getting some high APRs, but also in range all the time. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a reasonable strategy. Some of our guys do this. It just depends on how much overlap there really is. You know, if they all have the same bottom and they're staggering out on the way up, it makes sense to me. If you have them spaced apart where they're all like edging each other, but there's no overlap, not really a big benefit there because it's going to work pretty similar to just having one wide range. It's pretty much going to be essentially work almost the exact same. So if there's a lot of overlap, the overlap and how much time you spend in the overlap is where that alpha can be and where you can be making some extra money. For me personally, I'm just playing the long game. I'm looking for 4K ETH and then I'm exiting, right? So for me, it's like I don't really want a lot of the positions to be sold out at 3K or 2.5. For me, again, I know that if we hit 2.5 and I'm cashed out of anything, I'm looking to re-enter, and I don't want to be re-entering at 2.5 when I was getting in at 1,800, right? Same goes for any asset in its retrospective price range. 6.7, 6.7. I'm dead. I am so dead. Hopefully that makes sense. So depending on how much overlap again is in the ranges, it's not a bad thing. But if you're doing something like, how can I show this? Basically, if you have 3 ranges, give me a color. Give me something cool. One sec. So if you have this range, this is going to look so ugly, by the way, because one, I'm left-handed, and I use the computer with my right hand. So it's just never going to be pretty. So this is equal to this. So you just think that you're getting a higher APR here. So it's doing something for you. But the difference would be is if you did do something like, let's say, you have them stacked. So you have this range, and you have a smaller range, and you have a smaller range. Your alpha is going to be here and here, if that makes sense. Where this is where you're actually making a little more money per day. And so the difference is going to come down to how much time do you actually spend in this zone, and is the APR enough to make up for the difference of you selling here and here? I mean, you know, at this point right here on this range, you're already 50% cashed out. And so for me, even just thinking that I'm 50% cashed out at, let's say this is 1,800 right here, and this is 2,500, so that means that, what is that, like at 2120, what is that? What was even halfway? Let's just say 2,100, then you're 50% cashed out already. That's not a cash out zone for me on Ethereum. Does that make sense? So for me, it still should be decently wide, but it's going to look like maybe this is 3K. That is the worst 3 I've ever seen in my life. Again, I'm left-handed. Maybe this is 3.5, and then this is 4. Right? So you're starting to hit your take profit zone still, but you're getting a little higher APR down at the bottom because they're all stacking. They're all still working. But if you're doing this is retarded, and this is exactly what this is. Hopefully that makes sense. And the reason is because say you had 10K in this position, right here, and you had 3.3, 3.3, 3.3. Well, the same amount of active capital is working at a time, and the appreciation in the way you are cashed out is going to be very, very similar. Because this is all going to be USDC at the point we hit this point, just like in this range, as we start to hit that point, that amount of USDC is also going to be converted here, where you're about 33% cashed out. And at this one, this is still alt ETH. This would still be alt ETH right here at this point. This graph is going to look really retarded to anyone that is coming in right now. And you're 33% cashed out. So if you're doing this is retarded. And so is this drawing. But if you're doing this could have a competitive edge if we spend a long time, especially in this zone, but at least in this one as well. But a little math and a little assumption of how long we spend in here is what the difference is going to be. And you are you are going to make less appreciation. But it just depends on, is the increased cash flow here enough to make it worth it? And so, that being said, if it was something like Ethereum, where let's say this range right here, since I already have a 3, let's just say this is paying you 30%, because APRs are shit right now, so let's work with the shit APRs, right? 30%. And this range is, let's say, 15%. I'm left-handed, guys. This sucks, and I'm using the fucking thumb track or whatever. And this is 15%. You need to figure out the appreciation difference, and it's highly likely that the extra 15% a year, you're going to make more than 15% holding ETH for longer up to 4K. Assuming it would take a year for that to play out. So you have to consider your time frame as well. If you're looking at, for example, the SUI thing, like we're talking about, let's say you're doing a tight, let's just use 1 and 2. So 160, let's make it different. Let's say you're doing something tight. It's kind of fucking retarded, let's just say. 190%. If it was 190% versus, what was the wide one? Let's just say up to 5. Versus 60%, that's a lot bigger difference. So then the calculation becomes easier because, oh God, I fucking hate drawing. Okay, it's 190%. Oh, that's terrible. I need like my actual computer for this. 190% versus 60. I need to type. Versus 60%. 190% versus 60%. This is much more attractive. Now keep in mind, SUI from $1 to 5. Again, that's crazy appreciation levels versus SUI from $1 to, what do we put that at? Not that shit. What was it, like $1.50? You get cut off real quick. Let's just use $1 to $1.50. Yeah, 190%. You know, so you're making a much higher APR, so you have to consider how long are we going to stay in this range, right? So you gotta kind of think about that. If you think the market is going to be moving to the upside, then you probably still don't want to put a lot in this one. You can have a smaller amount, and that smaller amount can make 3 times the APR. But, I mean, just think about it. $1 to $1.50, you made 50% if you're holding spot, so you're making less than that if you're in the pool. You're making, let's say, 20-30% best case in terms of appreciation. Your cash flow is 190, so you're making a little over 15% a month. That's fantastic. And I'd be aggressively pouring that 15% a month into spot SUI or the long-range pool, because this is a 500% appreciation if it was spot. So let's say worst case, you're like 2 to 2.5x on the capital. So you'd have to be in this range for a little under a year. No, not even. You have to be in this range for a whole year to make it the same as the appreciation on this one. If it's hitting like 200% appreciation. And this one's getting 190 in cash flow. Hopefully that makes sense. Kind of. But it does compound because again, you can be investing these profits into this. This is the worst drawing that you guys have ever seen. I'm so sorry. Hopefully it somewhat makes sense. So you have to consider, and you're basically making a bet on how long am I going to spend in that tight range, and does the APR actually make it worth it? On SUI, it's more worth it. But even then, I'd still rather go wide, catch all that appreciation. Just play the long-term game. 60% is cool. 190% is awesome, of course, but you're done pretty quick. But if it's on ETH, and we're talking about, oh, I can make 35%, and if I just go wide, it's only 15 or 20%, like, that's, yes, it's nice to get your APR up to 30%, but you're sacrificing appreciation for 10% a year? That's like staking and then giving half your money away. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't sacrifice for that. Hopefully that makes sense. I rate your drawing, bro, fucking artist? Yeah, not really. No Picasso here. I'm left-handed too, in a right-handed world. Maybe we just intuitively rebel against the machine from the start. You know? I like your thinking on that. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. I even started to conform. I put the watch on the left wrist just because when I wear the Apple Watch, the button's on the wrong side, so I'm just training myself just to do things as a right-handed person, even though I'm left. Whether it's in school, the 3-ring binders, the whiteboards, everything, you scratch the ink all over your hand. Yeah, it's just all not meant for us, man. It's not meant for us. I'm pretty sure I turned Do Not Disturb on, but this shit is still spamming. Spamming like crazy. Cool, cool, cool. Any questions, boys? Let me check again here real quick, see if anyone joined the link that I sent. I don't think so. No, sir. Well, that being said then, boys, probably going to run. Might go try to catch a little bit of sun here. Catch back up to the Thailand golden brown that I had going on, which is not possible out here, but the weather is getting better. Starting to hit like the 80s in Fahrenheit, which for you Celsius guys, no fucking clue, figure it out. But it's starting to hit the 80s, the sun's out, UV's hitting, let's see. Let's UV max this shit. One sec. Gotta know if it's time to go out. UV's at an 8 right now. It's peaking out. There's probably like an hour left of peak time and then it starts dropping. So I gotta catch some sun. Appreciate the help, of course. GG. Peace out. Rewatch it later, of course. GG, boys. If you have any questions, of course, drop them in the comments. Comment on other videos. You can post in the community tab on the channel, I think. If you have real questions and you want to get started, you have questions about everything, it's all fucking confusing, book a call down below. Join the 10K Fast Track. Would love to have you on the inside. Midwest, yes, sir. Can I join the group if I currently don't have a portfolio but want to build one with 2K a month? I mean, yeah, book a call, man. We'll take a look at your situation, see if it makes sense. Book a call. It's free. You'll talk to the team, and we'll get a feel for what's going on over there so we can make a good decision for what's best for both of us, my friend. So it's possible. We'll take a look, see what makes sense. In the Midwest, yes, UV of, what was it, UV8. UV8, gotta catch that sun. GG, boys. Peace out. And I will see you in the next live stream. And Jake couldn't make it today because Jake has a little something going on right now. And maybe he'll tell you guys in his next video or next live stream. You'll see it. It's obvious. GG, boys. See you soon.
It's a tug of war, battling to keep my sanity.